Sometimes, just joking. I just started it the way you hate how I start episodes.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that. Honestly, like I get so confused when editing. I'm like, did I edit this already, or is this like on a previous episode?
I know. I basically pretty much did it on purpose this time.
I know. I'm gonna cut it out, and they won't know what we're talking about.
Oh man, I said the word at the.
I cut it out again. They don't know what you're talking.
The word at the intro.
Just cutting this all out. We're gonna scrap this intro and start over right now. I'm gonna stop the recording.
What? No,
No, we're gonna do this.
That's the word, guys. That was the word. You know what? Just cue the intro. Hello, guys. Two Latin Brothers podcast, also known as T.L.B.P. I'm Victor.
And I'm Adrian.
And we're back at again with another episode of the podcast.
Right.
Well, last week we asked you guys. Well, we told you guys we'd be asking you for questions.
Well, you're just gonna jump into it.
Yeah, we're just gonna jump right into it.
You're not gonna be like,
we got some long topics.
Okay, well, we're not gonna talk about. Okay, first of all, we need to address. We're not gonna talk about every question we got.
No, we're definitely
because we'd be here till tomorrow.
No, we're definitely gonna talk about every single.
No. There's no way.
I mean, some questions actually relate to each other.
A lot of them, surprisingly, a lot of people had the same question to ask.
Yeah,
and some of them were kind of funny because it just was. No, the other thing is, I think we should let's get into that later, but not right now.
What do you mean?
How was your week, bro? I didn't even ask you that.
It's like a normal week,
bro. It's not a normal.
The main event here was the questions. I don't know what you're doing here.
No. That was not the main event.
That was the main event,
bro. Well, you're coming up to the end of the first semester in college.
Okay, cool.
Next week is actually by the time we record next week, you'll be done.
Yeah.
Your first semester of college.
Yes. Okay. Can we stop talking about school?
We're going to talk about school in the question.
I know, but I get really anxious.
So let's talk about school.
Let's get the first question. Hey, let's do that.
Oh, man. This is already going.
All right. We got the first question.
Time down. It's already been 24 hours.
It's not really like a question.
I like how we did this the day before recording. We also pushed back the day of recording.
Okay, so well, the questions we asked on Instagram was, I need questions and topics for the podcast. Any ideas?
And we threw it on all the social media.
Yeah. So one of the responses I got, so for a topic is studying and how to succeed in classes or self-care since holidays are coming.
Okay, look. Wait. Okay, so I basically got the same question. Here, let me read mine. Because it's literally basically the same question. Where is it? Can you give tips how to cope with depression because of school and during pandemic? So these two kind of tie in because keeping up with school and the depression,
self-care and stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff kind of ties in together.
Yeah, perfectly,
surprisingly enough. But I think, how do we put it? Like how to succeed in school.
Yeah. Okay. So here's
Okay, whoa. Before you answer this question, it has to be thought out. It has to be a good answer.
Listen, it's gonna be a good answer. I'm going to start off by saying I'm not qualified to give proper advice. So don't take this straight to heart as soon as I start going off.
Wait, does that make me qualified? What does that mean?
I mean, you're a social service worker. I think it makes you partly qualified. Anyways.
Great. Perfect.
So here's what I would say, especially for school. So studying and being successful in school doesn't just come naturally to everyone, right? You have to have some form of aptitude.
I suck at it.
Yeah, I know. To wanting.
Thanks.
To do school, right? No one truly ever does want to do school, but you do it. Because
I have met those people.
Yeah. So studying. What I personally do to keep up with studying and stuff like that is be organized. Honestly, that I'm sure you've heard it millions of times. Being organized actually helps. Create yourself a checklist or start using your calendar or have an agenda. Just having yourself organized and then plotting out a time when you're going to do that helps so much because now you have a dedicated time for what you need to do. And then, if you don't do it, you feel like complete dirt, which is kind of not good. And that's how we're going to get into the whole self-care thing. But being organized, that's what I would say my number one thing to succeed is being organized and finding the motivation.
Okay. One big thing though.
Yeah.
Huge. This is crucial.
Yes.
Because when I was in school, because I'm still in school.
Yeah.
But when I was in school, You know what?
Just when you were in school.
When I was
previously.
in school. Anyway, I did a lot of sessions with learning strategists because of my disability and how to tackle, learning in my specific learning style, because most people have a variation or sometimes the same. Most people are visual and kinesthetic learners. Like that's like the general basis of all learning. Like just everybody learns.
So in other words, you're a touching learner, or you're a visual learner, or you're an auditory learner.
Yeah.
Or you're all a combination.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. If you know you're a kinesthetic learner, don't type out your notes.
Yeah.
Write them on paper.
Yes.
Here's the thing. For some reason, when you're a kinesthetic learner, typing does not equate to being recorded in the brain. But if you write it, it does. We don't know why this is. There's been studies on this, and we still haven't figured it out why. It just doesn't work like that for whatever reason. It's bizarre, but the computer has changed the game significantly. But one other thing too. For every hour you're in class, you're supposed to spend an hour studying outside of class.
Yeah.
So if you have like a 4-hour class, sucks to be you, but they're out there. I know they are because I've done one. You have to do 4 hours of studying outside so basically the amount of time you're in class, you have to do outside studying.
Yeah, and that's not counting if you need double time or a little bit of extra time since
that's not counting assignments, that's not counting homework, that's not counting any of that.
That's not counting any of that. But you're just counting studying. But for some people, for example, me with my learning disability, I need more time than just an hour.
Right. So that's a thing too. Like you can, if you start using this method, you'll quickly be able to identify what classes you're struggling with and which ones you're not. As opposed to being surprised when you're writing your first test or quiz or whatever, right? You get an assignment back and you realize you did it all wrong because you had no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Like these sorts of things happen. And I get it. Life happens sometimes. You know, like I missed an assignment once, many years ago, actually. And the professor was like, you know, Adrian, you missed 2 assignments. What happened? I go, and my answer straight up was like, life happened. Yeah. You know, like,
I mean, like that's all understandable. And we can tie that all back into self-care.
Right. Now, here's the thing. If it's too much, voice yourself.
Yes. Like
voice it. Especially like in post-secondary, you as an adult are capable of saying, hey, this is too much. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people think I'm a high functioning adult because, you know, we do this side thing and we do school full time at the same time. What they don't understand is I'm the one carrying the burden. That guy just sits over there and talks. Talking about my brother, for those that are wondering. No, but honestly, you often, like, there are times where you want to quit. Even when it's too much. Like, it's too many assignments, too many hours, too many things going on, especially this time of year, because we're about to enter exam season, and it's a nightmare from start to finish.
Yeah.
It's the only part of school I don't like. But honestly, once you overcome it once, you're like, I could do it again.
Yeah.
And depending on how long your program is, you may have to do it 16 times.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Like, it really depends. But I think that every human is capable of it. Not simply because it's expected or because that's what it is. It's because it's been done like this for literally almost like a long time.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. There's always improvements in education, because I know there'll be those people who are just like, nah, it's education system's broken. But yes,
I mean, to a certain degree,
to a certain degree, I agree with you a lot. But there's always improvements coming to education.
Right. But also, like, if you feel like your brain can't absorb information anymore, step away. Like, step away from your desk, step away from whatever you're doing. Go for a walk. It's scientifically
proven that if you let your cognitive mindset rest to, reconstruct and rebuild and take a break, it actually helps you.
Yeah. So what for example, I finish what I was saying?
Okay, sure.
It's like, step away from it. Go talk to somebody. Call somebody. Jump on a YouTube video. You actually made that's dangerous. That's a trap. Don't do that. Go for a walk for a little bit.
Okay, look.
Take a shower.
This is what I was gonna say. So this is something I've had to put in practice a lot, especially because I struggle with working memory and short memory. So my biggest tip for people who need that mental break is, if you truly like watching like YouTube videos, create yourself a cue prior to actually beginning to study, and then do intermittent studying. So put yourself like a timer. Okay, I'm going to work for 20 minutes. Okay, you study for 20 minutes. You watch a video, and then you finish that video, and then you get back to another 20 minutes. And you continuously do that. And here's the other thing. Sleeping. Sleeping is huge when it comes to learning.
Right. Like, although this one's the hardest one.
Yeah.
Because it is so hard to find time to sleep.
Yes.
Because like sometimes you're like, I got 10 assignments to do. They're all due by the end of the week. It's Wednesday and I've only started like 2.
Yeah. So
I'm doomed.
So here's what I'd recommend for people who struggle to find the time to sleep. I would recommend napping. I wouldn't say sleep. If you can find a 20-minute slot to pass out and set an alarm, do it. I honestly, genuinely, it'll change you for the better. I can almost promise you that. I know this because of personal experience. And you'll find that when you wake up, you're more focused, you're more energized, you're ready. And I recommend after the nap, if you just finish studying and you sleep, I recommend looking over the material you just looked at. You'll realize you remember everything so much better than you did before.
Just kind of skim through it.
Yeah. And you'll see you remember so much better than you did prior. Because that's how learning is.
Yeah.
You gotta absorb the information, and then you have to let your brain basically file it up in cabinets to which you can be retrieved.
Right.
All right. So let's talk about that mental health side.
Okay.
Because
well, we kind of tackled that already.
I mean, somewhat.
I mean, you just have to find, like, if you have a hobby that, like, pulls you away from, like, whatever it is you're doing, that's the thing you should lean on. Some people take music, some people play video games, some people like hiking, some people like cooking, some people, like reading, it's finding the time for you to be you.
Yeah,
because like you have to learn to find that work-life balance, right? This has like been crucial over the last.
And this is why I say be organized.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? Like in my case, I know that if I have nothing to do, like during the week, and for example, like say I don't have anything coming up or anything to do at 6 o'clock when we typically eat dinner, I know that from 6 till the night ends.
Yeah,
I won't do anything because I'm just gonna be hanging out with you guys.
Yeah,
but if I have stuff to do, I will be like, we'll watch one episode of whatever,
and then I gotta go.
Right? Like I gotta get stuff done. Right? So you have to learn to make those hard calls. You have to learn to sacrifice that time you would spend with your loved ones or with your, your friends,
and also,
your brothers, your sisters, your boyfriends, whoever.
Don't over-sacrifice, because that's a big mistake people make.
Right?
They're like, okay, I'm gonna sacrifice this amount of time, and then it turns into a week of doing that repetitively.
Yeah.
And yes, okay, I agree with you that yes, it's really extensive. You really need that time. But if you can't sacrifice a good, 40 minutes with your loved ones or friends or family or whatever, at least a good 40 minutes out of your day. Organize. You should structure yourself with a priority of having that time for others.
Yeah. Well, when I was in my last program, there were days where it was like that, right? I would leave at 8 in the morning to get school for 9, class all day. And then I would leave school in the middle of the day, go to my placement, and not get home till like 9, 10 o'clock at night, right? And then at that point, I come home, eat dinner, and then disappear again because I had to study and do all this other stuff. And I'd go to bed at like 1, 2 in the morning, then do it all over again the next day, right? So I lived this for like months straight. Like months, I did this. Like just nonstop.
Also, like another thing I would say for those who get anxious and for those who are procrastinators, surround yourself with people who are going through the same thing as you, and surround yourself with people who will raise you instead of
people who motivate you to get it done.
People who motivate you,
right?
Like especially in class, find that person in the class who is aspiring to do their best.
Yeah,
because
typically, wait, that's hard to find though.
No, I know. But at least finding a friend in your class that appears to know what they're doing, or at least makes it look like they know what they're doing, because it helps you at the end of the day. Also, having that extra person who, let's say you have a question and your professor doesn't really answer it the right way.
Yeah.
You can go ask questions to.
Right. Yeah. And like, that's also like sometimes like if you become friends with someone, they'll be like, hey, if you ever need help with something, reach out, I'll help or whatever. Right. And like, it's nice to have people like that. I've done that a few times already. Yeah, they know who they are, but it's one of those things, right? You develop friendship as time goes on, but I think it's also important to take into account, because you keep jumping, bro, take into account that time for yourself. That time for yourself, you should chunk it out at least an hour every day just for you. And it's important to do that. I remember when I was younger, my first couple of years in college, I played the saxophone, which we haven't really talked about this season, but yeah. I play the saxophone, and I used to play the saxophone an hour every day. It was my stress reliever, and it was great. And then I don't know what happened. I discovered other things, I guess, and I started doing that instead. Oftentimes, especially now, a lot of people go like, yeah, I'll spend like an hour on social media. That's not a stress reliever. That does not qualify as one. That's feeding an addiction that we all kind of have, that we all need to address. Yeah. That is not solving your stress. If anything, that can cause more stress, because especially on like platforms like Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and whatever else there's always going to be news that filters in there, and you can see like some pretty graphical things too, like horrible news sometimes, and that's not really helping.
Also, if you're feeling mentally overwhelmed by like school or work or whatever you have going on in your own life, and then you're seeing photos of your friends with their free time, all controlled, and you're just like, what am I doing with myself? That doesn't really help you.
Yeah.
So I would suggest, if you're taking a break, avoid social media. That is a very good, that's very good advice.
Well, yeah, because this is what I do. Like me, in my case, like one of the things I've started doing is like whenever I take like my hour break or whatever, I've talked about this before. I have my Minecraft world.
Yeah.
I will literally like set a timer on my phone for an hour, jump on my Minecraft world, work on whatever for an hour. And because I know I only have an hour to play, I'll be so productive. Like I'm like double the amount of productive in my Minecraft world than if I were like just hanging out playing.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. And then I will stop at the hour when the alarm goes off, save it, get back to work. Like that's the world I live in. I do the same thing with the podcast. Like when I'm editing the podcast and I have school, I'm like, okay, I have an hour right now. Start editing, set the timer. The hour's over. I'll get like half of it done. Sometimes I'll be like, wow, that was really fast. And then I'll be like, okay, I'll save it. I'll get back to it later. And then I'll like go back to whatever else I was doing, like, schoolwork or whatever. And then I'll go back to it like the next day or the day after that. Right, until I'm done. And then when it's done edited, I render it out. I mean, I don't render it out. I mean, I export it. I export it and then I upload, right? On the desired day.
Just for a quick summary for the school part of this is number 1,
organization.
Number 2, surrounding yourself with good people.
Yep.
Number 3, try avoiding social media.
Right.
Number 4 is...
We should put Netflix in there too.
Yeah. I mean, Netflix can be a trap, but as long as your episode or whatever you're watching doesn't exceed over an hour, I think you're fine.
All right.
Let's see. Okay. This is mainly me saying this, and I'm sure a bunch of people already know this, but physical activity. Right. If you can find time to go for a walk, especially in nature, it puts you in such a good mindset.
Bro, I live downtown. Big city.
I don't care if that's the atmosphere you've been raised in the city. Go for a walk in your city.
Go find a new cafe.
Go find a new cafe. Sit down. Maybe even study in that cafe. Who knows? Maybe the new atmosphere will make you more productive.
Yeah,
changing scenery can always help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the tips we have. We didn't really talk. Well, I guess we somewhat talked about anxiety and procrastination. We haven't really touched on depression because that's
well, like no, okay, because the problem with talking about depression is that this time of year a lot of people are going through seasonal depression.
Yes, and
it's because the season and the winter and the sun and all that jazz, right?
Yeah,
but also like it's the end of the year and half of us are still shocked that the year's ending. It's a whole thing, but I think it's important to understand that regardless of the current situation, the pandemic sucks. The year's over. It's a shock.
Also, just like remember that you're not alone in this. There are thousands upon millions of people who are going through the same thing.
Right.
Don't make yourself the outed one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's our advice on that. Do you have a question?
Pull up. Well, I mean, we both kind of pulled up one. So how about you pull up one?
Okay. Social life and stigmas post-COVID or vaxxed.
That's a controversial one.
Yeah. All right. It's a big topic.
Let's just
literally
go. Let's just like
it's a big topic. Not sure if it's.
Let's just quickly put the governments are the ones controlling it. I have no say. Next question.
No, I mean social life.
Okay. I mean,
social life is still a thing. Okay.
Right.
It's just think of it as a window screen. Okay. Think of it as you have multiple tabs, okay? Except now you're multitasking. You have your independent life because of COVID, right?
Well,
and then,
okay, no. I think they mean like the question was social life post-COVID, vaccinated or not vaccinated, right? So that was the question.
It was social life and stigmas post-COVID.
Right. So that's the thing, right? Because they're both connected, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they mean like, how do you feel about people in the social atmosphere hanging out unvaccinated?
I don't think so.
Right? Because
it says social life and stigmas post-COVID / vaxxed or not.
See? Post-COVID. See? Yes. Post.
So after COVID.
Okay, whoa.
So after, because COVID isn't done. Okay.
I mean, so we can't talk about after COVID because we're not there yet.
I mean, so post.
Some people think we are.
I guess they mean post closure.
Yeah.
So after the stage was lifted.
Now wording is everything.
Yeah. Now wording is everything. So life after, I feel like it happened. It happened when it was necessary.
Yeah.
Because of the economics of the city and everywhere else, right? It was everything. The markets were just plummeting. That wasn't good. Production was plummeting. Everything was just plummeting. So the government decided, this needs to open up. So we did open up. The thing is, I feel like a few people decided to abuse that right off the bat, and it caused numbers to spike, which caused little more restrictions.
It's currently happening right now.
Yeah, it's caused more restrictions.
Right.
And that's been the issue. I'm not saying that don't hang out with your friends and stuff like that. I'm saying go for it.
Just be safe.
Just be safe,
Yeah, like I tell this to my friends all the time. Like, especially my friends who are international. Yeah. They're like, I'm going to someone's birthday party, or I'm going to go to and my friends at the mall or whatever. I'm like, okay, fine. Go. Have fun. By all means.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm glad that you have friends.
Yeah.
Truly touched. But just be safe. Like, wear your mask, if you touch something, make sure you have hand sanitizer on you. I mean, like any door handle, any type of knob that you gotta touch should always have hand sanitizer on you.
Yeah, that's the biggest pro tip I have.
Yeah.
Even if you're somebody who doesn't believe in the vaccine, you can believe in hand sanitizer.
You gotta get that Purell.
Use sanitizer because it does help kill bacteria.
Yeah,
and it's been around way before COVID. So if you try to use that as an excuse, you're just lying to yourself. But yeah.
I mean, but like, okay, and the vax and not vax, oh no, that's tough.
That's a tough one for me because I'm pre-med. So obviously I'm going to go, I'm pro-vax,
Okay. Well, I mean, so most people are.
That's our personal opinion though.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that you're forced to, because you're not. And yes, there has been restrictions against those who aren't vaccinated, but you can still do things, right? Like go eat out
at the patio, not inside.
Patio, just not inside, because it could be. I'm not saying that you do, but it could be that you have the COVID, right?
Yeah,
and you're just not aware of it because you're asymptomatic, and then you're probably a risk to most, right?
Right. Also, if someone who is vaxxed gets it and they're around you, that's potentially more dangerous for you as an individual.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not just like someone being like, hey, I'm fully protected. No, I'm trying to protect everybody else around me too.
Yeah. See, and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing about the vaccine. The vaccine is not immunity. Yeah. This is the biggest thing.
It's the biggest misconception.
And you hear people continuously making this mistake. They're like, "Oh, I'm vaxxed, so I'm good. I won't get COVID." That's not how it works.
Yeah.
This is basically how the vaccine works. I'm gonna give you a quick breakdown. Ready?
Okay, you got 2 seconds. Go.
Okay.
1, 2.
So whoa. Jeez, man. Like I got no time. Anyways, this is basically how it works. You can get it. Okay, so no, pretend. Okay, so picture yourself as the body because you are the body, right?
Apparently.
And then we inject you with a fluid, right?
Right.
And then this fluid goes into your system, and think of it as a booster, okay?
Right.
Your body is now enhanced with defense. Now you've raised your defenses.
Right.
Okay. So then here comes the army from across to come attack you, being COVID, all right?
Right.
They attack you, but it does penetrate.
Right.
Now you're sick. It wasn't that the vaccine didn't protect you. It's that there was already a lower immune system.
Right.
So let's say you were running outside with your head wet and you got cold and you got the shivers, but you got COVID and you're like, oh, what happened? I got COVID, but you were just not taking care of yourself.
Right.
Right. So that's basically how it is. You can get it even with the vaccine.
Right. And like honestly, there's like hundreds of videos and articles.
Yeah.
And
honestly, just go to YouTube. Don't fall for the traps.
Yeah, I mean,
go to medically like their source.
You could go to the WHO's website.
Yeah,
excuse me, and all of this stuff is on there.
Yes.
Like if you just go to the WHO, the World Health Organization, .org, you go there. All this stuff's there. All this stuff is public knowledge and easily accessible.
Yeah,
like it's not like they're keeping it under lock and key.
Mm-hmm.
You can even go there and read all the studies and papers that have been published on COVID.
Yeah,
like it's all there. Like it's
also if you're the type of person who doesn't believe COVID's a thing, just walk away. I don't even want to talk to you. Honestly,
just walk away.
No, just walk away, because there are people who have lost loved ones.
Yeah,
from COVID.
Yeah,
us included. So you can't. How dare you walk up to somebody and be like, COVID-19 doesn't exist. Just walk away. And that I'm just gonna say that, and I'm gonna put that out there because,
bro, I didn't want to get into this controversial topic.
I don't care. It's not controversial. I'm not neglecting anybody.
Yeah.
Besides those who are just choosing not to accept what's in front of their face.
Right.
All right. That's it.
What was I gonna say? Next question.
All right. Next question.
Because I don't want to get too deep into this, and now we gotta end on a high note here. Someone wants to know what we think about winter tires.
Somebody wants to know what we think about winter tires.
Okay, so in Canada, if you don't know, in Canada by law, I'm pretty sure you have to change your winter tires.
Yeah, I think you do.
I think it's like on a province by province basis. I'm not exactly sure how it works. I don't remember right now. But some people won't change their tire. Okay, so let me reiterate. So in Canada, we have this thing where it snows a lot, so you have to change your tires to be winter tires in the snow season for traction, better grip. It's the whole thing. Also, there's a lot more ice on the road, so it helps like prevent sliding and all that stuff. But there has been this trend of people not doing it because they're not going out as much.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they're referring to, because like recently there's been a whole like thing where people aren't changing their tires
because they aren't going out.
Yeah, they go out like once a week to buy groceries and put gas, and that's it.
This is what the issue I have with that. First off, if you're having your car sit there for long, extensive days, turn on the engine, because it causes there's internal issues that can occur with the car when it doesn't move.
Right.
So every once in a while, do drive the car.
Right.
But what I would say is, for the people who aren't changing their tires to winter, because I'm not sure on the whole law thing.
Yeah. Well, I think technically you can do all season.
Yeah, you can if you have all season tires. You're pretty much okay.
I mean, I think it depends on the weather at hand.
Okay, but anyways, I would say, change your tires. I would genuinely say change your tires. You never know when you need to go on a long ride, or let's say there's an emergency and you need to get on the highway and you don't have.
I like how we went from talking about school to be like full on mechanics. Like we're out here like lift the car.
Okay, well we have some experience with tire changing. I would say change your tires. Just be on the safe side, don't be reckless, and then go drive in normal tires, and then slip and slide, and then boom, you're in the hospital and you have a jacked up leg, and now we're gonna have to call you Stumpy Leg for the rest of your life. Just be smart. Change your tires. All right, next question.
Right. I like how you just tackled that super fast. Like, just don't be stupid.
Yeah, just don't be stupid.
Just get your tires.
Talk about how the Omicron variant of COVID sounds like a transformer.
Oh, I get that. I actually get that. That's a good
funny
one.
Yeah. It does sound like a transformer.
Oh, it's because of Unicron.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm gonna geek out a little here.
Yeah.
Okay, because Unicron is a transformer that lives inside of the Earth in the Transformers world.
Yeah.
Right. So Unicron sounds a lot like Omnicron. Yeah. So I get the connection. Also, like, that's a really deep cut. Like, you have to be like some crazy Transformers fanatic.
I mean, we're not crazy Transformers fanatics.
I mean,
I got it.
Okay, look, no, because growing up, like, there were all those Transformer shows. Mm-hmm. I'd watch all of those. So like, have you heard of how they're doing the Beast Wars? Or they already finished filming Beast Wars.
Yeah.
Like, they're doing. Okay, so there was a show way back that was Transformers Beast Wars.
That's what it's called.
That was what it's called, I believe. I'm not exact. I can't remember. It's been so long. Yeah. Anyway, but so this show came out, right? And apparently they made a whole movie on it.
Really?
That's gonna be the next Transformers movie.
That's crazy. Everybody really wants, Fast and the Furious, and then
Transformers,
and then Transformers. So you just see Vin Diesel driving, and then all of a sudden Optimus shows up.
Well, like, and then just a priest. Like, what is it?
See, and people also want the Jurassic World.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing.
You know, because family.
Yeah, so that's the.
What is it? They can also. What is it? It's also like the GI Joe.
Yeah.
They also want to put the G.I. Joe on the Transformers. So, like, all of a sudden, it's like Fast and Furious. And then you just see Snake Eyes, like, jump on Dom's car.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
And then that car happens to be a Transformer. And they're all running from a dinosaur.
That's just too much. I can't handle this.
That's the biggest crossover.
That's like the biggest crossover. And I'm pretty sure you just gave me, like, some... I don't know, you just brain damage or something.
Yo, that'd be like the coolest thing, though.
I'd be so stressed out the whole movie. I'd be like, oh my gosh, is that a Transformer? Is that a normal car? Vin Diesel, you're about to get crushed in a little vehicle. And then I'd be like, oh my gosh, is that Snake Eyes? Oh my gosh, the gun's not gonna work on that dinosaur.
No, he's gonna use a sword. What gun?
What do you mean, what gun? He's got a hoist for the gun?
I mean, I guess, but it's just a little handgun. I think his sword's a bit more lethal.
Okay.
If he gets in, he can cut his way out.
That sounds a little aggressive and a little bit gorish.
I mean, you gotta be aggressive.
To the parents who have the children in the car. Anyways.
Well, no, but like, it's like, think about it. Like, I would pay to see that movie. Yeah. I would pay.
Yeah, totally.
I just want to see, you know, I just want to be like Dom talk to a dinosaur and be like, because, you know, family.
Yeah. And then the dinosaur be like, I'm gonna eat you now.
No, I think it'd be like the G.I. Joe, the Transformers, the Fast and Furious crew. Versus the dinosaurs.
I feel like that's going one step too far. You know what I mean? I feel like what we're doing now is just like, how far can we go with this? Okay, how extensive can I go with this? The next thing you know, they're creating a live action Naruto, and Naruto shows up.
I mean, they're already filming live action Naruto.
Okay, stop. Anyways.
No, what was it? No, what I wanted to say was, I mean, the Fast and Furious franchise has just always been like, how far is too far, right? Yeah. Like, they really did that. And what was it? Spoiler warning if you haven't seen the last one right now. The latest one, the Fast and Furious 9, I believe.
Yeah.
Fast and Furious 9. That they went to space.
Yeah.
In a car.
Yeah.
Because, like, that just, like...
I mean... It happens.
I mean, clearly, it happened in a movie. Yeah, I don't understand how they can do that. Like, and everybody's like okay with it. Like, no one's like questioned. Like, this is also like, what is it? Their spin-off Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah,
they basically made the bad guy, who was played by Idris Elba, a super soldier.
Yeah.
Also, again, like,
yeah,
they're like trying to make their own like
cinematic universe.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're 9 movies in.
I think they've created their own cinematic universe.
Like,
how are you supposed to introduce Transformers into Fast and the Furious? But are they just gonna be? Is Dom just gonna be like sitting on a table drinking like coffee or like a whiskey or
no? It's a Corona.
Corona, right? He's drinking a Corona, and then all of a sudden he's gonna turn on the news because you know he's still human. You know he's gotta keep up on that COVID status. So he turns on the TV, and then he's just gonna see something falling out of the sky, and it's gonna be the Transformers. And then all of a sudden, the government. This is where Hobbs shows up, right?
Yeah.
And he's gonna be like, "Yo, we need help with this." And then he's gonna be like, "All right, I got you." And then they're gonna just show up at a base, and then Optimus is gonna be there. And then since like the whole like crazy thing is going on with the government, Snake Eyes shows up too. I feel like that's how you tie in everything. And then you'd have like this crazy scientist who's also experimenting on like some like DNA that's been stolen, but it's actually dinosaur DNA that comes back. And then they actually are able to harvest dinosaur eggs, and then the dinosaurs actually grow, and then they're actually growing rapidly. And then now we have this whole scenario where DNA was stolen, and now the dinosaurs are attacking the world.
Again, so it'd literally be the Transformers, the G.I. Joes, the Fast and Furious family versus the dinosaurs.
Yes. I just created the whole plot line.
Bro, it'd be crazy.
They should just hire me.
It would be crazy.
Bro, I'm telling you, this is how it would happen.
This
is exactly how it would happen.
Or you know what they could do? They could be like the Fast and Furious, like.
Or imagine.
Listen.
This is how you tie in Snake Eyes, okay?
Yeah.
This is how you tie in the GI Joes. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
So the GI Joes are obviously a separate organization for the government, right?
No, they're not. They don't even work for the government.
Okay, whatever. They're GI Joes. Anyways,
they do whatever they want.
Okay, whatever. So this is how I would do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I would be like, okay. The G.I. Joes are fighting, you know, the assassins and stuff like that, okay?
Right.
And then they've been chasing them, but the assassins are the ones who actually take the DNA for the dinosaurs.
Right.
And they're the ones who are the enemy. So now you have 2 enemies. The enemy of the assassins and then the enemy of the dinosaurs.
Okay. Do you think What's the organization that's like versus like the G.I. Joe in the G.I. Joe franchise? What are they called?
Scorpion. No.
Scorpion. Right.
Scorpion?
Is it Scorpion?
I don't know.
Or no, it's Cobra.
Cobra. Yeah, it's Cobra.
Okay, so Cobra.
Are you sure it's Cobra?
I can't remember, to be honest.
It's like rattlesnake or something.
It's some kind of snake.
It's some kind of snake, yeah.
So
yeah. I feel like it,
no. Okay, so
there's so many directions you could take
so
this.
it would be Cobra harvesting the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Trying to take over the world.
Yeah.
With the dinosaurs. So all of a sudden you see like these soldiers riding like T-Rexes, and then Dom with his car. Just come out of nowhere. Like it would be the craziest thing. I would love to see this happen. Like
give me my popcorn. I'm ready.
I want this to happen now. Like I'm behind it. I fully support. Take my money.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, like that's crazy. Like I would totally invest in that. Right now. I would invest right now. Whoever has the ideas already like fully thought out, like get working. Like right now.
I just want to see it.
I just want to see it. I just want to be able to walk into the movie theaters, buy my $17.95 ticket, and then show up, sit down, see a man drive with the crazy car into a dinosaur with a ninja on top. That's all I ask for. Is that too much to ask for?
I mean, Vin Diesel's already like part of like all the big franchises.
Yeah, I know.
It's part of the Marvel franchise because of Groot.
Yeah.
Like, I still can't get over he's Groot.
Yeah, he is Groot. We are. No, I'm just joking. Gonna get a strike or something. Anyways, you have another question?
Nah, man. You seem to be curating over there.
No.
You got none else? I mean, okay, whoa. Let's check the time real quick.
We're at 40 minutes.
Okay, so let's just keep talking about this topic because we don't have time anymore to answer.
What do you mean talk about this topic? What topic?
I mean,
we're basically done with this idea of dinosaurs.
I mean, this was kind of like we answered 4 questions? Let's make it 5. Pick one more.
Maybe. Okay, so the rise of NFTs, as some of them are terrible, but somehow sell for so much.
What's NFT? Like, we cannot talk about this in 5 minutes.
I know.
Okay.
So let's talk about blockchains.
Okay, whoa. That's even more complicated. I'm not getting into that. Okay.
The reason I think that the tokens are being worth so much
is, for example, you got to rewind. For those who don't know what an NFT is.
Okay.
It's a non-fungible token.
Okay.
NFT.
Yes.
Now, most of them are like...
And that's all the time we have, so we're going to have to wrap up.
No.
Okay, guys, everything's always in the description, whether it be up, down, left, or right.
Bro, you can't just cut me off like that.
I'm sorry. Did you have something to say?
I wasn't done yet.
Okay.
I was just trying to say...
non-fungible token.
Yes.
Okay.
They're typically some type of digital art.
Okay.
And... quite honestly, it's kind of dumb because all you're doing is buying digital art. So like,
I mean, yes and no, because there's 2 different types of NFTs.
Well, like everybody's saying,
there's
like,
physical NFTs, and then there's the digital NFTs.
I mean, I guess right.
I mean, and also like a character skin can be considered
an NFT. There's a game so like Fortnite that's doing that.
Yeah.
Where every skin is gonna be an NFT.
And we've talked about this before, like offside.
Yeah.
Of how constructing a game in which you can use real currency, using the items in the game to be solely unique, using the blockchain method to create value in the game.
Right. Like I imagine if someone creates a game using Bitcoin, and while you're playing Bitcoin, you're mining Bitcoin.
That seems like a lot of power.
No, I know, but like a game like that, like everybody would be contributing to the blockchain.
Yeah.
So you'd be like mining while playing. Like you wouldn't make a lot. But like what you do make, you could use in game as currency.
Yeah, I feel so bad for those who don't understand this right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, that's. I'm gonna say that's enough for today. To be honest with you.
Yeah, like
honestly,
we got a lot of questions. I was actually decently surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do this again. Sorry if we didn't get to your question. Yeah. We kind of just tackled a few that were kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the questions though were about school.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of everyone's life right now.
I mean, I guess.
Listens to the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, the end of the year is coming up. So, like, I was surprised there were, like, no any New Year's resolution type questions.
I know. I was worried for those.
I was too. Because my New Year's resolution is literally keep doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah. That's literally what it is. Maybe try, like, some challenge or something. I don't know. But yeah, that would be me. That would literally just be me. Anyways, guys,
wrap up.
Everything's been too Latin brothers.
The entire world has been
to Latin Brothers podcast. Everything's always in the description, whether it be up, down, left, or right. Make sure to share with your grandma, share with your rooster, share with your moose, share with your donkey. I don't care who you share with. Just share with everybody and anything. And make sure to check last week's episode if you haven't already. Make sure to follow our Twitter and follow our Instagram. We're uploading a lot more now, so get checking, get looking.
He's getting way more aggressive about it.
I'm getting way more aggressive about it, and it's gonna happen.
He's finally doing his part of it.
Yeah, finally doing my part. And we have some more stuff in store for you guys.
Yeah.
Make sure to stay tuned for next week, and we'll catch you guys in the next
week
one.
after.
Yeah, in the week after. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bye.